Hey guys, listen up.
This is the SEC Insider Hit, powered by Miss Kelly Furniture, Mississippi's number one sleep store.
Good morning. Welcome in. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. The show is driven by your next Ram truck at Mac Hike in Flowood, MacHikeFlowwood.com. Pre-owned or new SUVs or trucks, if you're in the market for one, Mac Hike in Flowood. We're streaming live on the Out of Bounds radio app, and we're happy to welcome in Coach Chad Bumpus, former Mississippi State wide receiver, now the wide receiver coach at Mississippi State. He's been at Utah the last couple years. Excellent program. Kyle Whittingham, one of the best coaches in the country. And now Bumps coming home, and the Mississippi State fan base is beside themselves as they are excited to welcome home the Tupelo native. Coach Chad Bumpus, how does it feel when I say Hail State wide receivers coach?
Unbelievable, like a dream come true. Really excited, really blessed. We're fired up. We're ready to get home and get working. Again, it's what I've been working for a long time, so it feels really good.
What was the celebration like between you and your wife when you knew it was going to happen, Chad?
So we technically found out a couple days before Christmas. So it's been a whirlwind getting ready for the Rose Bowl. But I mean, it's just been, I can't even put into words. We just had a new baby boy, so he's 2 months. So my mom's in Tupelo, her parents are in Atlanta.
Oh, nice.
I mean, everybody's fired up. So the timing couldn't have been better. So we're excited.
That's great. So your mom will be an hour up the road, and her parents just 5 hours away. That's about as good as it gets.
Yeah, for sure. So again, all good on this end. So we're excited and fired up.
Is it snow outside your house up there right now? What does it look like?
Yeah, it just started back snowing. So hopefully I'll shovel my last driveway for a little bit.
So Chad Bumpus on the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. How many people have you heard from in the last few days since it was officially announced?
Yeah, a lot. I'm still hearing from people I hadn't talked to in a long, which is really good. Just being able to catch up with some old friends, and I mean, just the excitement around the state. So I've heard from a lot of people.
How excited were you once you and Zach Arnett started having conversations, Chad?
Really excited. I mean, again, I've been a full-time position coach going on to year 4, and a lot of people don't get their dream jobs that fast. So you can imagine the excitement. And again, as soon as he was announced, he reached out to me, and we've been in contact ever since. So again, I appreciate him for just giving me the opportunity, but he, from our conversations, he's doing it the right way now. He understands Mississippi. He understands what it's like recruiting the state, and I'm excited. I think we're headed in the right direction.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He is. We've been around him several times. Chad Bumpus has joined Zach Arnett's staff at Mississippi State, and of course, Bump was a hell of a player under Dan Mullen. It's his alma mater, and he gets to come back home. And before you know it, he'll be in like 110-degree heat in June, and I think he'll still be excited about it.
Absolutely.
So, Bump, you play at Tupelo, and you had a hell of a career, and you join Dan Mullen's team in his first year. And, Dan was young, hungry. Talk about that first training camp and just how hard it was and maybe what the transition – because you and Fletcher and those guys had to play day one because there just wasn't quite enough on the roster at that point. So you, Fletcher, Josh Boyd, those guys, you played as true freshmen. What was that like?
Extremely hard. Even before training camp, just getting there in the summer and going through some of those workouts with Coach Bayless, like nothing I'd ever done. And then you get into training camp, and obviously we did training camp on what we call the farm, right? Like not on our practice field. So again, as a freshman coming in, not knowing what to expect, which a crazy story. We were doing summer workouts one day, and it was raining, and Delmon Robinson was the slot in front of me, and I will never forget it. He just wouldn't come to workout. And so that day forward, Coach Mullen like, all right, you're the starting 8, so get ready to go. Again, as a true freshman, not knowing what to expect, never playing at that level, it was extremely hard. But we had guys like Brandon McCray in that room. Tyson Lee was there. So we had some older guys, Jamar Chaney, who helped us out and kind of showed us the ropes. But, man, it's nothing you can get ready for unless you go through it. So really fun, though, really fun.
Chad Bumpus, new wide receivers coach at MSU. He joins us on the Yingling Lager guest line. He's been at Utah the last couple years. He'll be coming home here in the next few days to join Zach Arnett's staff. Arnett coming off a big bowl win over Illinois in the ReliQuest Bowl, was the Outback Bowl down in Tampa. We were there a few days ago, and that was a big win. So when you knew, how freaked out were you when you knew you were going to start as a true freshman?
I didn't have time to be freaked out. I mean, you're nervous. You know what I mean? You just. I still don't know the offense at this point. I probably have been on campus for 2 weeks, 3 weeks max, and everything just happened so fast. So I spent the rest of the time trying to learn the offense, even before. I mean, technique-wise, all of that, I had to learn on the fly during camp, but I had to at least know where to line up in camp. So, again, those older guys helped me out a lot, but didn't really have time to think about it. It's just like, all right, you're in the fire now, go.
Yeah.
Go make a play.
And you did. What about did you played at the highest level classification, Mississippi high school football, Tupelo? Mm-hmm. It's a hell of a program, hell of a school academically. How much did that help to even give you a shot to put it all together as a true freshman?
Oh, man, a lot, because a lot of the competition we were playing against, we're going to be playing at that same level. So, again, every other week you're lining up against somebody who's a Power 5 type player. And, again, we had a really good team. Obviously, our quarterback went to LSU. We had players all over the field. So it helped a lot just being able to compete against that caliber of players, and then it helped make the transition a little smoother.
How many times – like, all right, so you're busy. You know, you're an assistant coach, Power 5 at Utah, mm-hmm. and you guys are in a different time zone, and y'all have meetings and prep and games. I guess, though, depending on time slots, every now and then, if you get just 10 minutes, 30 minutes, and Mississippi State was playing the last few years, you tried to watch a little MSU football, right?
Absolutely. Every chance I got. And, again, I'm still in group messages with a bunch of former players, so they kept me updated even when I wasn't able to watch. But, yeah, every chance I got, I was trying to check them out. Even, again, knowing I was taking this job on the bus on the way to the Rose Bowl, I was watching our bowl game. So, yeah, any small chance I got, I was watching.
Wow. I bet that was cool to be a part. I mean, the Rose Bowl is such a big bowl in Los Angeles, so prestigious. Y'all had a hell of a year. That had to be a cool experience.
Oh, it was unreal. First of all, Coach Witt is amazing to work for. I mean, he's just a great human. He's done a great job out here. This program is unbelievable. But what I will say is this program was very easy for me to transition to because, again, my connection here was Coach Mullen. He was the offensive coordinator when Coach Witt was the D coordinator, both under Urban Meyer. So both the program here and the program that I played in were very, very similar as far as plan to win, core values, team rules, everything was very similar. So I kind of knew what to expect working for him. And, again, man, he's first class, does everything the right way, cares about the guys. Everything in this program is about the guys. So I have nothing but good things to say about him. So I appreciate him and everything he did for me. And because I'm here, I'm ready to take this job. I was ready to do it and move on, and it got me back home. So
yeah, Kyle Whittingham's a hell of a coach. So
oh my goodness, I don't think he gets enough credit. I mean, the way this team competes in this league against some of the teams in this league. He's done a great job here, and the guys know what to expect when they walk in the building. So
I bet he sent a lot of players to the NFL. So I know that was a great experience for you. Chad Bumpus, wide receivers coach for his alma mater, Mississippi State. He joined Zach Arnett's staff this week. He's super excited. He obviously Chad from Tupelo, his wife's from the Sun Belt too, and they are excited to be in Stark Vegas. When will you get to, give or take, I guess, when will you get to Starkville, Chad?
Next Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm meeting some of those guys out at the coaches convention in Charlotte, and when we leave from there, I'll fly right to Starkville. Gotcha.
Wow, man. So how many kids do you have?
Just one. He's our first one.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so
we're
excited.
I have a feeling your mother, the grandma, is going to be really, really excited about this.
Oh, man, I think she cries every time I talk to her. So just super excited to get us back home. And, again, more so him than us. Everybody, they're all excited about him. So he's the show now.
They're going to walk right past you and just grab your son. Get ready for that. I experienced the same thing. My parents just walk right past me and then go to my kids. All right, so you were a hell of a player. Dan Mullen did what he had to do at that time, all right? A little bit more run heavy. Obviously, you still had a hell of a career, caught a bunch of passes. He gave it to you from the line of scrimmage. You were in the return game too. But can you imagine if you got to play today where everybody's chunking it around 40-plus times a game, Bump?
Oh, man, we talk about it so often. It's just it's a different game. And, it's a receiver's dream just to go. You're going to get your targets. You're going to get your catches. You're going to get everything that you need and that you want to get to the next level. So it's a completely different game. And, again, fired up to still be able to be a part of it in some way, especially at this position.
When was the last time, and it may have been the last time you played, but when was the last time you attended a Mississippi State football game?
The last Mississippi State game I came to was I was actually playing in Canada, and we beat A&M at home, maybe 14.
Okay, with Dak and all that?
Yeah, right before the big Auburn game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was that was probably the last Mississippi State game I've been to, which is crazy.
Wow.
It's been a while since I've been in that stadium.
Yeah, so you got to experience the new end zone bowled in and how loud that thing gets, and I bet that was. Your crew, you and Fletcher and that whole Ralph, that whole group, Mullet helped build that end zone $90 million expansion or whatever. So I know you thought that was really cool, and they've done some other things. Have you been in the SIL building, the football building?
I have. Yes, sir, I have. It's been a while, but I've been in there once or twice.
Gotcha.
So didn't get the full tour, just just walk through it. But I'm excited, man. It's a good thing that I get to get back before the season so I can get all the emotions out, so y'all don't get to see me cry on the sideline.
That's right. Yeah, I bet Arnett's going to be like a quick hug and hand you some car keys and say, "Hey, Chad, hit the road," right? Something like that.
Yes, sir. That's pretty much how I was going to go. I think we'll get out on Friday or something. So, just excited, ready to get there and get on the ground and get working.
That's great, man. Well, look, congratulations. I know how bad you want to get back. The fan base is just beside themselves. They're super excited that Chad Bumpus is on the staff and back in Starkville, Mississippi. And congratulations to you and your wife on your new son.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
I know that we will catch up again soon. We appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Thank you. Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
All right, Bump. Thanks, man. Chad Bumpus, Hail State wide receivers coach. He joined us on the Yingling Lager guest line, and he is now the new coach for Mississippi State. And 4-year starter, Blake, from the – how about that? Somebody wasn't showing up at workouts, and Mullen's like, "You're the starter."
That's hilarious.
He had just left Tupelo High School.
Yeah, that's hilarious, but also apropos for who Dan Mullen was when he arrived in Mississippi State.
Yes.
Yeah. There was no
BS.
Yes. He wasn't going to waste time or cut corners or play. I love this game. Well, he's been here longer, so we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
No.
Let's pretend like our job is to win games, and we want to put the best people on the field at the best position.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of, look, it's always fun to whitewash everything on the backside and pretend like it was all good, especially when something as tragic as what happened to Mike Leach did. But there were plenty of things this year where you could have said, with Mike Leach are the best players on the field all the time.
Right.
I mean, that's one thing Kiffin, albeit with a weird 4-game losing streak at the end, he seems to have put the best people on the field when he can. Quinshon Judkins stole that job from Zach Evans early, and he never gave it back. And that was not something that would have happened 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, Chad Bumpus started and had the big Egg Bowl game.
That's right.
In his freshman year.
That's
when
right.
They were, I think, double-digit underdogs. And he ended up catching a touchdown pass from Chris Relf, I think, in that game. I think Relf had already come in the game for Lee when that 4th and 10 went down. And maybe it was Tyson, but Relf scrambled to the right, I think. Bumpus breaks free, catches it, and makes somebody miss, runs it into the end zone.
34-yard catch and pass, Bumpus. Okay. That was in the third quarter, and that was Relf.
We have some breaking news. Do you want it?
Yes.
Okay, Steve Spurrier Jr. is going to be the new offensive coordinator for Tulsa. So people, you were talking about how people were kind of worried about Spurrier Jr. He is expected to become Tulsa's new OC. And there are lots of ties with Kevin Wilson at Tulsa and the whole Mike Leach, Steve Spurrier Sr. influence on that offense.
Okay. I was wondering what he might have meant when 10 minutes ago Steve Spurrier just tweeted, "Life comes at you fast."
Yeah. He'll be in Tulsa,
I didn't know
Oklahoma.
if that was a shot at Zach Arnett not landing Kendall Browse or not.
I don't think Steve's that petty.
Okay.
Or I don't know how petty. I don't think
I
he's
wasn't sure.
operating like
Yeah.
that.
Just a question.
But you always go there.
No, the sports world goes there.
Okay, fair enough. Twitter goes there.
Who weren't we just talking about somebody being petty? Oh, yeah. We were talking about economic impact over the college football bowl season for two programs that are not blue bloods.
Yeah.
Tulane and TCU. One of them, TCU, Peter Burns talked about this. TCU has run a study. They believe they've already seen $2.5 billion in economic impact to their program and university. Just from the playoff run, winning it, and now they're going to play in the playoff game, the championship game Monday. The other one is Tulane. Tulane's NIL collective has quadrupled in donations since the start of this season, as Willie Fritz won a record 12 games and won a major bowl game for the first time in 83 seasons for Tulane. And one of the funny things that came out of Tulane was an Oklahoma message board post where Oklahoma fans started donating to the Tulane NIL after they beat Lincoln Riley at Southern Cal.
That's pretty good.
That's petty right there.
I wonder if, Chad Bumpus is so beloved, that Bulldog Initiative Fund may get a bump.
Yeah.
No pun intended, from Chad Bumpus getting hired. But our interview today with Chad Bumpus was brought to you by Bulldog Burger in Starkville and Lake Harbor, Bulldog Burger, Lake Harbor in Ridgeland and in Tupelo. Chad was kind enough to join us. I mean, man, I was tracking him down. He knows. I bet he got tired of me texting him. He was nice the whole time, but I couldn't let it go. I told Blake we had to have him this week, not next.
Yeah.
And you could hear it in his voice.
So excited.
He just had a son. His mom will be an hour away in Tupelo. He was a hell of a football player at Tupelo, and they have had they're one of the most prestigious, accomplished programs in the state of Mississippi, right? And, talking about athletes, it doesn't matter what sport, from football to tennis to golf to baseball. And you could tell in his voice how excited he is that he and his wife are moving back to Starkville in the Sun Belt. And that was funny. He said, "I think this may be my last time to shovel snow in the driveway." He's up in Salt Lake City at Utah with the Utah Utes. They went to the Rose Bowl. That's great experience for him to be around Kyle Whittingham. Kyle Whittingham runs a culture-driven, accountability and discipline, no BS, here's the deal program. And as Bartu said, starting 4 or 5 years ago on Kyle Whittingham, that for how they're kind of a 3-star, a lot of times high 3-star recruiting spot, Utah, they develop players and put a boatload of them into the NFL. Chad Bumpus got to see that. He was already under a coach that took a bunch of 3-stars and sent them to the NFL and Dan Mullen, but he also got to experience that, Blake, under Kyle Whittingham. And Whittingham and Dan Mullen and Urban Meyer all coached together at Utah. Urban Meyer and Dan Mullen went to Florida. Kyle Whittingham took Urban Meyer's spot. That was 100 years ago. He's never let up because all he's done is win. Blake?
In the first 100 seasons of Utah football, they went to 10 bowl games. Never went to a Rose Bowl. In fact, the best bowl they went to, gosh, I guess is either the Las Vegas Bowl or the Liberty Bowl in those first 10. Oh, no, excuse me. That Urban got the Fiesta his last year.
Yeah, he went undefeated.
Yeah, Urban got the Fiesta his last year. So that was the best one. After that, from 2005 to current, they've been to 15 bowl games, including back-to-back Rose Bowls under Kyle Whittingham.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So Utah, again, 10 bowl games in 100 years. They've had 15 since Kyle Whittingham took over. Obviously, Urban, in his 2 seasons, got them to a great spot, but he was only there 2. Wasn't like Urban built that for 8 seasons. He was there for 2 years. Kyle's been there from 2005 on. You don't last 18 seasons anywhere or even in the game if you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
That's
so 15 bowl games under Kyle?
Yeah, he's missed 3 bowls. And he's missed 2 bowl seasons, and then the Pac-12 didn't play football in 2020.
That's right.
So
COVID.
only 2 years has he not qualified for a bowl game.
He is and the NFL, to say that they respect him, and that's why they go through there and make sure they don't miss anybody from Utah. So that's great experience for Chad Bumpus.
Another thing for Chad Bumpus just happened to line up today. Xavier Thomas for Mississippi State has pulled his name out of the transfer portal. We told you this when this started in December, and we even talked about it last year. Just because they enter the portal doesn't mean there's anywhere to go, and it doesn't mean they're not coming back.
That's right. Those that you want to keep, you need to keep recruiting. And so Xavier Thomas will be catching footballs from Will Rogers next year, and he will be coached by Chad Bumpus.
I think on a scale of 1 to 10, when you're a State and Ole Miss, you have to keep those kids. Those freshmen that show flash but don't get a ton of playing time, you have to find a way to keep them on your roster.
And Ole Miss kept Quinshawn Judkins, and he played
he showed a little more than flash.
An insane amount. But I'll give Xavier credit, too. I mean, obviously, Judkins was a freshman All-American and should have been, or All-American, period. But Xavier made some big plays in the return game.
Yes, and he showed you that he could be a talent at the receiver position in terms of ball with the ball in his hands, right? Yards after catch, which you desperately need at Mississippi State.
Xavier Thomas will return to Mississippi State. Chad Bumpus will coach him. Hey, thanks for hanging out with us this week. We appreciate you. And working with Blake and I. We were in Tampa early in the week, so we did Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. If you missed anything, we had a hell of a week. If you missed anything, please go to Apple Podcast or Spotify and search Out of Bounds with Bo Bounds. We would love for you to subscribe to the podcast. That'd be awesome. The Chad Bumpus interview was brought to you by Bulldog Burger in Starkville, Ridgeland, and Tupelo, which is Chad Bumpus' hometown. Thanks for listening to the Out of Bounds show on ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Rebels Dogs tomorrow in the Hump, and NFL all weekend, powered by the Golden Moon Casino, Sportsbook, and Lounge. We'll see you Monday.